It is the second of the new detective type debuting in Medarot S and the agent of the three. It is DTT01 Wonderbell, with a kit of Heal Plant, Float Suppress, Sacrifice, Float Legs, and the leg ability of Shape Memory, which will equalize HP to all parts when charging metaphors, and in addition, this will also restore any broken parts back to a certain point, with again equalizing HP. Now, not only have we heard about Wonderbell in the past and already kind of expected her debut upcoming soon, relative to what was announced a few weeks ago, she is definitely packing a brand new skill to the table that will definitely shake up the meta a lot when it comes to a lot of high-end competitive teams and what you will see very often. Heal Plant is a setup-based skill which basically will set a passive plant on the field, and every time someone will complete a heat phase and get ready to accomplish their turn, it will basically restore a small amount of HP to a damaged part. Right Arm Float Suppress is a brand new skill being applied to the game, and how it works is that it will apply a minus 60% debuff to heat and cool of any float legs attacked. But if it is not a float leg being attacked, it'll simply be a 10% debuff instead, which puts it kind of on the lower tier, similar to how Wave and Hold work to a point. But in this case, that 60% to float legs is absolutely staggering, given the fact that it very likely will stack with Wave and Hold if you use it, which will honestly slow any of the absurdly broken float legs that we've seen in the past, such as Artemis, Spinag, Metal Eater, and so on, almost down to a crawl no less, and make them almost harmless and very easy to pick off the board without them even having a chance, or very little of a chance, to even come back and punish you or even cripple your strategy before you have a chance to build. Left Arm of Sacrifice, we have seen it before, both in shooting and in melee variants. Basically, it has a base damage, as you see here by the 1499. However, it will also add bonus damage relative to up to 50% of the arm's remaining HP, for an even higher damage bonus and punish when using the part. And this, of course, is her primary and main mode of combat. However, with the leg ability of Shape Memory, because Sacrifice does end up breaking the part after use, Shape Memory does allow her to bring that back as well as any other damaged parts, so she can use it once again even if it isn't going to be at the highest damage possible. However, she honestly kind of ties herself together pretty nicely, given that Heal Plant can kind of restore that over time after she does use Sacrifice, charge or use a Float Suppress for a few turns, and then use Sacrifice again if she's not damaged or crippled at that point. So that she can use it again at a moderately decent level all the same. For these reasons, as a pure set score, I do have to rate her a pretty solid 7 out of 10 for her overall coverage, what she offers. A head of about 3450 HP, arms about 2950 each, almost 3000, and legs of 3550. Pretty nice spots of where you want to be at in general. Of course, with her being a float leg, means she is going to have overall pretty solid mobility on all terrains, and her stats are honestly looking pretty nice for them too. Not absurdly broken as we've seen in the past, but still in that nice sweet spot of where you'd want to be. Of course, at the sacrifice that she cannot hold any heavy parts at all. But with a mobility of 771 for a float leg, that's really good. Evade of 1043, also really solid. Melee resistance of 704 isn't super great, all that honest. I mean, she is going to be suffering a lot when up close and personal, but she does kind of make up for it with a shoot resist of 1043 instead. And just as a reminder, these are the base levels, which means on the field they will be all about 10% higher than actually listed here. As mixed parts, on the other hand, I do have to rate her a pretty solid 8 out of 10 for the same reasons. Very solid balance across the board for what she does offer. No heavy parts means ultimate flexibility. Float legs is going to be very nice to make use of as well when not using heavy parts, but it's primarily going to be the float suppress. That's going to be her big ticket item that you go for if you are going to roll for Wonderbell. Given the fact that, as mentioned, we have a lot of absurdly broken float legs already in the game, and a lot of players have complained in the past that a lot of high-end meta will use these parts and make it really hard to make a working strategy against them because they have such high stats. Now, thanks to this will honestly give those legs more of a cut down and a nerf to kind of balance them out and round them out.